Hello my Loomian Legacyans, it is your girl over here, Vaporbaby. Now, I've been given this question quite a lot during my live streams when I do my gleaming hunt on Loomian Legacy. How do you obtain and what are the steps in order to capture a Gleaming Loomian? Now, keep in mind this does take an enormous amount of patience because this has taken me about 14 maximum, I believe, of hours to capture 14 shinies within the game. Now, the hour encounter rate, I believe, I'm gonna say it took me probably around 14 to 15 hours to do this altogether within the past 2 days. So, during my live streams, I do have the tendency of encountering a bunch of shiny Loomians within the game itself. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me this question, so I'm going to explain this to you. What helps is if you have a Gleaming Charm, which can be purchased within the game for 350 Robux. I know the price is very steep for some players and it's almost impossible to purchase if you don't have Robux, but this does help out greatly. The good news is if you've purchased any of the game passes within this game, and if you've played Pokemon Brick Bronze, those will automatically transfer over to you for free. So if you've played Pokemon Brick Bronze, guess what? You already have all of the game passes that you previously purchased, so you kind of don't need to worry about repurchasing it if you're kind of wondering. In order to check that, you can go to the Roblox homepage, go to Loomian Legacy, and go to the store section, and you'll find out if you actually own it or not. Now, another thing is, you can purchase these boosts right here. You'll see the prices per coin, and honestly, this translates pretty clear to what Loomian translates over to Pokemon Brick Bronze. Brick Bronze, it was probably around this much anyways, if you wanted to get 20 chances of getting, you know, the encounter rates. And guess what? You can actually stack them, which is actually pretty cool. So for 15 minutes, you can purchase it for 1 coin, or you can go ham and purchase 4 coins and get an hour of shiny hunting. You can theoretically stack that as well as the roaming and corrupt one. However, if you do encounter a corrupt Loomian, you won't be able to capture it, but you do have a chance of finding a shiny Dusket, which has a very extremely low chance of finding if you do get a shiny. So if you do get one, which I believe there's only 2 currently in the game, consider yourself very, very, very fortunate. The value of it is not 100% sure, but I know for a fact any Loomian or Pokemon for that matter that is roaming in the wild and is gleaming or shiny is worth a lot of shiny starters within the game itself. So I know once the wiki has updated all of the Loomians on value, trade value, everybody will get an idea of what these shiny or aka Gleaming Loomians will be worth at some point. Now, in order to tell if you have a shiny or a Gleaming Loomian, you'll notice that the color is different from the original that you find in the wild. You'll also notice that it will be stamped alpha. Another thing that is actually very obvious if you do have one or not is if it shines when you have it out in battle or when it's walking. You'll notice players who have a shiny or a gleaming will have it on their, on their little side. So once you go into battle, you'll notice the Loomian is in battle. You'll see that it has sparkles on it, and it'll be very clear whether or not you found the shiny version of it or not. Now, I know for a fact Get Glow is actually pretty common to find in the wilds, since I've found about 4 to 5 of them in the wilds. There are 2 Loomians that I know that are actually pretty rare to find in the wild, and that is Piter, and there is a cat in here, Kleptyke, who's also considered to be a rare encounter as well. So if you do get those in shinies, or gleamings, those are actually pretty valuable down the road. So once the trade resort opens up, you'll notice that players will be trading those for high value Loomians. So you might have to pop up a few uncommons and commons in order to get those Loomians, or some pretty good IV trained Loomians in order to get those. Now, as far as the shiny Dusket goes, the kind of encounter rate, I have no idea what the encounter rate is. but I do know that the encounter rate of finding a legendary or a roaming is pretty high. You won't be able to find it very easily. So as far as I know, the encounter rate, what people have told me, is 1 out of 1,000. So if you actually activate this, it'll go down substantially. But whether or not you'll be able to encounter it with the shiny, it's very, 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 very rare. I probably did this for about 5 hours straight and used a substantial amount of coins in order to have a chance of doing so. And within those 5 hours, I was only able to obtain about 2 to 3 shiny Loomians in general. So yes, this does take a lot of dedicated time in order to find them. And if you don't have these game passes or any of the boosts, finding a shiny in general is probably 1 out of 1,000 in the game. However, those numbers may change based on how the developers made the encounter rate, or if those are actually passed on from Pokemon Brick Bronze, which I'm assuming. Anything that was from previously on Pokemon Brick Bronze will automatically transfer here. So you kind of can get an idea once the Loomian Wiki updates. Another thing that is actually beneficial is if you decide to join the Loomian Legacy Discord. A lot of players do talk amongst themselves about, encounter rates and shinies in general. So you can kind of have an idea once you start talking to the players on there and, get a discussion going. But overall, this can get pretty expensive when you do decide to do gleaming hunting. One thing for sure though, when you decide to come into Route 3 for the first time, if you do get this far in the game, make sure you enter the area over here where there's a small bridge opening. Go up the bridge up here and you'll see a chest. You'll be awarded 1 Loomian coin and you can use that coin against anything here. What I normally recommend to new players is go for the gleaming encounter and see if you can get one. It's a free coin for 15 minutes. I would recommend doing the roaming because it's still really hard to encounter a roaming or a corrupt Loomian in order to get the item that you get from the corrupt Loomians. If you do encounter one, you do get one of these shards here. So if you do decide to do that, it's totally up to you. But I would recommend the gleaming encounters because at some point, you'll be able to get a gleaming for free. So always take advantage of what the game gives you. And I'm pretty sure down the road, you'll be able to gather more coins for free within the game. So yeah, if you have the Robux and the great amount of patience to do the gleaming counters, I say go for it. I can't wait to capture more Loomians down the road that are gleaming. And for sure, if once the trading resort opens, I will be giving away all of my extras that I have for free in my live streams. So if you haven't subscribed, post for notifications, you'll never know when I'm doing a gleaming shiny giveaway. So with that being said, guys, Vaporbaby is out. Bye!